This board is magic. KT just made it. It's a blown up version of my favorite shortboard, and I think that's why it works so good. You know, it's funky conditions out there, but for a stand-up paddle, it was a lot of fun. You know, surprisingly, my stand-up paddle board is pretty small, 7.5 by 24 inches, about 4 inches thick. It's not that bad to travel with. No worse than, you know, a normal shortboard bag. So I only brought 2 bags down here, one for shortboards and one for alternative vehicles like the stand-up paddle. So far on this trip, we haven't had like amazing shortboarding. I think there's some really good days coming up. So it's been fun to kind of get on different stuff. The strap board, the stand-up paddle board. You know, I actually had the most fun on this stand-up paddle board. So I think I'll probably be riding it a little bit more as the days progress. The fun part of the game on a stand-up is you really do get a workout going out. The balance and climbing white waters, it's really good for core strength. It's great for big wave training, and it keeps it interesting because you can actually go a lot faster back out. There was quite a bit of current and some wind, so it was a little bouncy, but no more than my home break of Maui. The benefit of being on a stand-up paddleboard is you can catch a lot of waves, and the reason is you're already standing up. You can chip in to these little waves very easily, and you don't necessarily need to be in the perfect spot to catch the wave. So it's just our little crew out there, and it was a lot of fun, and there was a ton of waves, so you really get the wave count up. And I think this really translates well to the shortboard later on, because if you turn a really big board well, probably turn a really small board well too. The paddle is a huge component to this sport because you have such a big board. The only way to really make it pivot and turn hard is if you stick the paddle in the water. Otherwise, you can't really bury the rail, and that's just kind of part of the fun of doing it, you know, making a big board work in these sort of conditions. But it is kind of the great equalizer because you can bring this board on a trip and know you're gonna score, because the most average waves become the most sensational for this sport.
So Kai, what's the deal with these fins?
So there's a lot going on this board. Got the mink system to take that turbulent water and straighten it out. Because this is such a big board, we need to get as little drag as possible to go as fast as possible. And then these fins are really a product of windsurfing, because in windsurfing you're going really fast a lot, so you need the front quad fin smaller than the back fin. And what happens when you put this on like a surfboard or a stand-up board, it kind of makes the quad feel closer to a thruster, kind of somewhere in between, while still maintaining the speed of a quad. And these have been kind of my go-to fins for giant waves on my tow boards, on my paddling guns, and I've slowly been experimenting with them on smaller boards for smaller waves. And I think there's something there. Got to get someone like you, Ben, to test them and give me some feedback. Pretty much everything I have is very windsurf background, and I think it's just, you know, being from Maui, kind of just take what's in the backyard and apply it to just about everything.
Right on, I'm gonna give them a shot in a normal shorty and see how they feel.
I thought the tail was gonna feel too wide, but it like somehow doesn't, which is really surprising. Like it feels so wide right here, but it felt so stable. For these type of waves, felt unreal. A clean face would be crazy. Looking at these stairs, it wouldn't be my first thought of where you could build them. I mean, we're literally under an overhang, and if we were down on the beach looking up, you'd pretty much be thinking to yourself, there's no way someone could build a staircase down to the beach from the top. But, you know, the Balinese people, they figured it out. So, good engineering. I mean, it's basically wood on top of rock. Not sure if it's to code, but it's pretty sick. You know, it gets us down to the water. So I just came in from temples in Uluwatu, was riding my strap board, flinging a couple, and wasn't sure if I wanted to swap it over to a Goofy Foot setup. So I have this little pocket in my signature line from Hurley so I could carry my screwdriver. It is kind of a rowdy screwdriver. It's pretty big, but if I wanted to out in the water, I could just unscrew it, swap the straps around, put the screwdriver back, zip it up, and just keep on surfing. I didn't lose it out there, so it's a foolproof zipper pocket. The idea with this little pouch here is, you know, screwdriver is just the tip of the iceberg. You can put protein bars, you can put sunscreen, even like a little thing of water back there. Fin keys, extra fins. I've actually put fins in there to test so I could swap them out in the water. Pretty cool. Even have put in a spare leash. So yeah, I don't even notice it because unlike most rash guards, there's actually like some neoprene, but they're perforated with holes. So it doesn't get hot, but it stiffens up the back. So it's not like you're feeling something flopping around. It's just, you know, settled onto your lumbar and allows you to still surf and not recognize that anything's there. If you want to buy one right now, go to hurley.com, Kaileni selection. It's not just riding waves. Getting to the place is going to be an adventure. This amazing coastline. The waves are small in front of the place, but we're going to be stand-up paddling, GoProing, doing it all, going way around the corner. Only way to get there is paddling. Follow cam with Ben. Gonna get the shots. All right, taking the SUP board out, 7.5, 24, 4 inches thick. We're going out here at Uluwatu. Now I gotta navigate going down this really steep cliff. Very small staircase with an exceptionally big board, but luckily it's really light. Look at that. Oh, the waves are kind of just going off right now. Pretty stoked just to get on the water. Now this is the tight zone. This is the hard turn. Look at this incredible place. One of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. Oh, super fun session. This place is unbelievable. Got some good laughs and had a lot of fun. Board felt good. First time taking it left. And it's time to go in. Wait for the tide to switch again. Phew. These are foot straps. You don't need them.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fun to watch you ride with them, and you basically gonna paddle in like you normally do. If you could get your back foot first and then your front, you're gonna be quicker, but it's way harder. So front foot, back foot could be on top of the back strap. can't grab enough trash down on the beach. It's just everywhere. And, you know, there's very few places along this coastline. I mean, there's like 2 restaurants and, you know, it's not coming from them. So this stuff is getting blown in from somewhere else out in the ocean. It just kind of affects this beautiful beach with great waves. Bali is so beautiful. It's definitely worth our attention to do whatever we can to clean it up.